Thank you so much. Wonderful to be and tremendous to be on with all of you around the world. And it's so important to pray when we think about what's going on in Turkey and Syria. I'm in Istanbul, Turkey right now. I'm actually headed to Nigeria to help the persecuted church there. But when we think about what's going around the world today, more than any other time through these tragedies, we need to be praying. So you're going to hear the overhead announcement. I'm on an airplane leaving Istanbul with about 300 people, but I really want you to seriously pray for the world today. When you think that right now in Turkey and in Syria, there are some 50,000 people that have already died. And I got an assessment just a few minutes ago that it's more than 50,000. In fact, when you look at the Turkish government statistics, there were 6,000 buildings that were destroyed. They were leveled, they were crushed. And each of those 6,000 buildings, if you add up all the apartments, there were 211,000 apartments in those 6,000 buildings, because Turkey is a land, as they call it now, is a land of apartment buildings. So when you think of 211,000 destroyed apartments and an average of 3 to 4 people in each one of those apartments, you do the math. And demographers are saying that there will be upwards of 500,000 people dead in Turkey alone. Imagine that. So you do the math, you multiply 211,000 apartments, the average of 3 to 4 people living in each of those apartments, you get just an astronomical number. So I am on my way to Nigeria to help the persecuted church. We're holding a trauma healing Jesus gathering for widows and orphans, children who have seen their parents murdered by terrorists. And we're going to a place in Nigeria called Yola. It's in Adamawa State. It's way up north. It's in what I call the Badlands. So today, for all of you around the world, I would encourage you to pray that for the persecuted church. There was a recent Pew Research study that stated that the most common act of persecution in the world today in multiple countries is on Christian people, whether it's in Libya, Egypt, Sudan, Syria, Gaza, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Iraq, Kurdistan, you read Nigeria. There were over 10,000 believing Christians killed in Nigeria in 2022. And in order to save bullets, and I'll get a little graphic here, in order to save bullets, the terrorists make the Christian moms and dads and children drink poison in order to save bullets, or they tie them to a tree and hack them to death with a machete, or they put a tire around their head, light it on fire, and it's called necklacing. And then they die in the most tragic ways. But, in Nigeria, where I'm heading for 6 days, and we'll be holding these gatherings to minister to traumatized widows and orphans, it's amazing as you pray for them that they are resolute in their love for Jesus. They are resolute in their commitment to Jesus, our Lord. They are resolute, they are dedicated, they are devoted. It's similar to the people when I was in Ukraine 11 months ago ministering to soldiers there. These folks that are under persecution in many countries, I go to 18 war zones. That's what widowsandorphans.info does. You can see us on the web, widowsandorphans.info. And yeah, I'm being asked to go off, so it's probably good. I've probably said enough. You just saw the flight attendant, and here comes another one. So I don't want to get kicked off the flight because I'm on a mission. So if you go to widowsandorphans.info, you can see all the work that we're doing, and you can be in contact with me. My email address is octanefaith@yahoo.com. That's octanefaith@yahoo.com. And I respond to every email personally. And uniquely, we are an all volunteer force. I'm a volunteer CEO of Redeem and Widows and Orphans.info. I have a volunteer chief of operations, and our team leaders in 18 war zones in the Middle East, Central Asia, and Africa. We're all volunteers, so nobody gets a paycheck. Everybody's a volunteer, and every penny that we raise goes into providing help and ministry to persecuted believers and people that are hearing the disenfranchised, the broken, the neglected, the lost. And I was pastoring a very comfortable church in Manhattan, New York City. Who wouldn't want to pastor a church in Manhattan? And God 10, 11 years ago brought me out of that. And God said, Pastor Devlin, you're too safe, you're too secure, you're too comfortable. So God spoke to me, and I created these two organizations, Redeem and Widows, A&D Orphans.info. And we've been going around the world, going to places that are hard, going to places that are dangerous, and going to places where nobody else is going. So thanks for having me on today. Here comes the captain, and God bless you. And
God bless.
pray for the persecuted.
Thank you so